Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena Fantasy Series discussion portal. I'm your host Expat, along with my co-host Burley. Burley, where are you, man? What's in the background there?
The city of Gondor.
Gondor,
And
yeah.
yeah,
What is the significance of Gondor? Because we see something of that in this episode we're going over for the Rings of Power, episode 3. Yeah.
yes, the significance is this is the city that we go to in episode 3 is what will become of Gondor late in the Second Age or early Third Age. I can't remember like timeline stuff, but
Okay.
it is the city that will become Gondor. And you get little references, like you get the little way and the little tree and stuff.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
get little references throughout the episode. So if you
Cool.
know this history and the lore, you're like, oh, that's a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. Cool. So this is our episode 3 reactions to ADAR. So we're going to be talking about the Rings of Power, and of course, I want to just let everybody know we're going to be talking spoilers in this episode, obviously. So if you have not watched episode 3 of Lord of the Rings, ADAR, please go and watch it before coming back and enjoying our discussion and our reactions to the episode. So Burley, let's get into it. Of course, Galadriel and Halbrand, of course, they're on this ship, which is captained by a man named Elendil. So we're gonna see his image here. So he's like the captain of this ship, and then later on in the episode, we see his son and his daughter as well. So for Elendil, what is the significance he has in this story?
So his significance in this story is, as you say, he's the one at the end of episode 2 with the boat that he picks up Galadriel and Halbrand. Thank you. So he takes them to the city here, and then now through this episode, he's got to be Galadriel's watcher and make sure she is up to note. She keeps in line and all that. But you'll find out he is not so much on hating on elves as one would think. His line has helped and worked with elves before.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. And of course we see here the city, the kingdom in the west called Númenor. I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, and just another example of how Amazon is putting so much money into this series. I mean, just the scenery as they're coming in on the ship. I mean, all the stone faces, and we see the image here with the stone hand reaching out. I mean, just amazing, and all the like the houses that are sitting on the cliffs and everything, and it's just in all the arches, and it's so beautiful. It's some great scenery in this episode, especially as well. So, what did you think of it, Burley?
Oh yeah, no, the scenery is just great in this show. Yeah, and they did this city so well. Like they show you that if you put your effort and your budget into it, you can make something that looks amazing. Like this looks like film quality.
Yes.
And like I don't mean it to mock at TV shows, but like usually you see the TV shows like, that looks not bad for TV. This is like, oh shit, this looks like I saw this on the big screen on the theater there.
Right.
Quality. Like they're putting in showing, if you put the money and effort, you can make it look damn good. And people are like, oh shit.
Right. And so in our next image, of course, we have the Queen Regent here, so Míriel. And she is not like Elendil. She is very kind of against elves, like a lot of the people in this city now. It's like a long time ago, the people in this city of Númenor, they were working together with the elves, but now in this age it seems like there's animosity again, and of course Galadriel is not welcome there. And of course, obviously in the episode, Galadriel is asking her for a ship so that she could go to Middle Earth because of her mission, obviously, but she rejects that. So what did you think of that, Burley?
Yeah, that didn't surprise me. As we've seen in this world, there's a bunch of elves and humans don't get along for the most part, because a lot of humans aided Morgoth.
Right.
So elves are pissed off because they fought Morgoth and all that.
Right. Yeah, and then of course another image here of Halbrand, and it's interesting how Halbrand kind of sneaks up to Elendil and gets Galadriel's
Her brother's sword back.
Her sword back, yeah, kind of like her dagger in a sense, yeah. And he's able to talk to the Queen Regent, Míriel, and say, hey, it's like, give us some time, give it time, and maybe we can come to some kind of agreement or whatever. I mean, he was pretty savvy there when it came to negotiation in that scene there, because it looked like Galadriel wasn't going to get anywhere, being that she was an elf. So being that, of course, Halbrand is another, man, of the men, so to speak, of humans, he was able to at least get her to, think about it and give them some time. So what did you think of that?
Yeah, it shows you he is not just some low, because what you get from the other episode, like episode 2, is he's just some low life that'll do anything to survive.
Yeah.
He does have that survival instinct, but it shows you here he can actually think quite well, and he has just give us a couple days, let's just relax, let's calm things down, let's not put each other in cells and all that, and let's just and take a breather. And it's great. It shows you he is smart.
Yeah.
And then it shows you his dumb moments later on.
Oh, yeah, as he gets into the fight and everything, yeah. But back to Elendil, obviously the Queen Regent puts him, as you were talking about earlier, puts him in charge of Galadriel. And, it's interesting how he takes her to this kind of like a scroll room. It's kind of like the Library of Lore, and I'm going to show an image of that here. Yep. Library of Lore. And it's interesting, you actually also see some other pictures on the wall. And what's interesting is I think you see, who is it? I'm trying to remember his name again. That his picture was on the wall. And he was talking with the dwarves last week. I'm trying to remember his name. Elrond, I think it is, right?
Yeah, Elrond.
Yeah, so Elrond's photo is there, or his picture,
a painting of him.
A painting of him, yeah. So from ages ago, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, in this room here, the Library of Lore, it's interesting what she finds out. So obviously, she figures out that this mark of Sauron is actually a map of the Southlands. And so she figures out that it's the, basically the map is saying that, there's the orcs that are creating a new, kind of like a new area for
a new homeland.
A new homeland to battle the men and the dwarves and the elves and whatever, so a new realm for evil forces, I guess you could say, in a sense. And so so now she knows, as well as Elendil now, and she goes on to later tell Halbrand, but now she knows exactly where they're basing themselves, where the orcs are basing themselves, and that's where she has to go. So what did you think of that part?
Yeah, I did like that. That we're slowly getting it revealed, slowly getting that payoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. So obviously we get to Arondir's story here, and last week we didn't know. It's like, what happened to Arondir? Who was it that was pulling him through there, that was taking him away? Well, obviously we know now it was the orcs. And the orcs have this new base, and they have humans and elves. Actually, Arondir's captain, I think it is, was also captured. So some of his other men, as well as the humans. But the healer from the first couple episodes and her son, they were not among them yet. I guess they have, have not been captured yet. So.
Well, their town was fleeing. The humans here are probably of the town where he went to go investigate and saw the hole.
Exactly.
That's where that's where these humans are from. And I do like that the elves are working it. He instantly, all the elves just chum together and they're like, okay, we got to go. They hate sunlight, so you're keeping that in canon with everything. If you know anything about the orcs, they hate the sunlight.
Right.
We do it when the sun is at its highest, so they can't see.
Yeah.
We break the chain, get up, and just book it. Because if one of us, at least one of us, makes it out, we can bring the army of elves here and take care of them.
Yeah.
So like everyone is prepared to die as long as one of them gets out.
Yeah, and I really like that scene where he has to go up there and start cutting the tree down. He actually, he puts his hand on the tree, and he's basically telling the tree, "Hey, I'm sorry, that I have to do this."
Yeah.
But I really like that scene before he had to start cutting the tree down, and then later on, of course, the orcs bring out the water. And they start drinking the water, and then the final guy that's drinking the water, the orc slits his throat. What a great move that was. And then obviously
they're orcs. They don't care.
Right.
For them, you fall in line.
Right.
Or you're dead.
And then of course the I call it the orc wolf, but what is it actually, Burley? What do they call it?
I think they're wargs.
Wargs, yeah. So anyway, and it just tears apart a few of the humans, it just tears it apart. And then Arondir, man, he was just badass, he's jumping up and, breaking down the tents and everything. So the sun started shining on some of the orcs, and obviously he's able to tie it up against the tree roots and everything. And then his compatriot, of course, I think is his captain, got up to the top, and then obviously, there were orcs, or something, that shot him with arrows, and he, of course, didn't make it. And then, of course, Arondir gets captured again, and then he is taken to, I guess, who they call ADAR. And which it could be another word for Sauron, but we don't see him. Obviously, of course, his face is blurred. So
they show you, but he's so out of focus you can't get any details. I like that kind of thing.
Right.
But I love the scene with him just getting up there. He's crawling up and he's like, "Oh yeah, our one guy got out.
Yeah.
Things are gonna at least go there." And then he sees the guy just got the arrow.
Yeah. And then he got another one too, obviously, and that finished him off. But so probably next week we'll find out that we'll see the face, who this ADAR is. But Burley, I have a question for you. Earlier in the episode, I don't have an image for this, but I think it was the son and daughter of Elendil, especially the son when he was on the ship, and he heard this whisper like. I'm wondering who that was whispering, and what that whisper was. Yeah.
Well,
do you remember that part? Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that part. But you learn his name. The guy's name.
Yeah.
And it's Isildur.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So, if you know anything of the movies and all that, you may have a clue. If you've seen the movies,
right,
you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch the movies, read the books.
Right.
Because we will spoil stuff, but there are some stuff I kind of want to just stuff like that. Just leave it open to interpretation.
Okay, so finally, let's get to the Harfoots and, of course, Nori and yeah, in this episode, of course, the Meteor Man, he gets she is able to get the star maps for him, and it's kind of funny how she's able to get that. Obviously, her friend, it's like she's in there. It's like, it's left, left, right, right, oh, right, right, left. And it's like the guy, he's like, he doesn't know that she's trying to help her out because he doesn't even know Nori's like underneath the table, But that was pretty funny. But anyway, we see the seasonal migration, but before that, it was interesting in their culture, the Harfoot culture, how they were like talking about the people that were unfortunately left behind in previous migrations, and they were kind of, honoring them in a sense, and drinking and, by the fire and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But then obviously the Meteor Man, busts out, and they finally figure out that, he was there, and instead of banishing Nori, basically they make her family go to the end of the line. So at the very end of the caravan, and obviously in the previous episode, Nori's father had broke his ankle or broke his foot or something.
His ankle.
And so he is not able to, pull the cart, and so it was looking pretty dire in a sense there, they're probably going to be left behind, or they're going to fall so behind that they're going to get lost.
Yeah, it is a crueler fate than just exiling Nori, because now, if the family was at a higher position in the thing, let's say they were like cart number 4 or 5, they had a good chance they would keep. If you're last and you're far behind,
right,
your cart's going to get and with your father that can't do it,
right,
and so many wee children, they can't really pull the cart.
Yeah.
Well, you're SOL.
Right.
And you also see in that scene, her friend Poppy only has only herself, so she's got to pull a cart by herself. It's like, oh, bad.
Right. But then again, of course, Meteor Man, which is interesting, he's actually talking a little bit now. He actually says Nori's name, and then he actually says friend in the episode. And of course, he comes to save the day, and he starts pulling the cart. So they're able to stick with the caravan, and the migration continues, and that was the end of the episode. So yeah, I mean, good stuff. So what are you expecting to see in the next episode, Burley? What do you think we'll see?
Well, obviously we're gonna get the reveal of who that was that he's being brought to at the orc camp.
Yeah.
So we'll get something there.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll see the people that left, the woman and her son, and that blade is going to come back next episode. Yeah. And obviously get more of Galadriel in the city. And because we did have that reveal with her companion that he is of the race of men that leads men and all that. So we're going to get something with them. They're going to I don't know whether or not they're going to leave that city, that episode. I don't know. Yeah. And we're going to go back to the dwarves. I have a feeling we'll go back to the dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah, so the reveal, of course, Galadriel tells Halbrand there, sitting in the cage after he gets into the fight, that, you're the king of the Southlands, and shows him the sigil and the image and everything, and he actually has that with him. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, very good stuff. So, so leave us some comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the next episode, in episode 4 of The Rings of Power. So this has been our reactions to that episode 3. So we hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this episode, be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell for when we drop a future episode of The Rings of Power, as well as all our other content here on the Arena Productions. And we just want to thank all of you that are, coming back and watching our videos and that are subscribers. We just passed the 6,000 subscriber point. So we thank you so much for being a part of the channel. Yes, we really appreciate it. So thank you so much. So anyway, I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. We hope to catch you in the next episode of The Rings of Power, where we do our episode 4 reactions. So until then, take care, everyone. Peace out.